มาค่ะทุกคนมากินลาบอาหารเย็นวันนี้คุณยายกินลาบนะกับผักเยอะๆหรือใส่ตรงไหนเราจะได้เห็นลาบนี่ลาบจ้าผักเยอะๆเลยเนี่ย
Just an eerie quiet before it launches you forward like it's allergic to hesitation. This isn't an electric motor doing all the familiar. Just reminded everyone that electricity doesn't have to be boring. It's just the beginning. But here's the part that really stings for everyone else. Dark matter isn't even the end game. Insiders say this motor is just a setup, a taste, a teaser for something even more unhinged coming down the pipeline.If
อาหารเย็น
went this far just to improve a hybrid drivetrain, what else is brewing behind closed doors? What's happening in those labs where only engineers with security clearance are allowed? What's on those dynos that no journalist has ever seen? According to whispers from within the company, dark matter might just be step one. Christian von Koenigsegg has been suspiciously quiet, aside from one cryptic statement.He said they've only just begun to explore what this technology can really do. And considering what they've done already, that sounds less like a promise and more like a threat. While dark matter whispered in vaults, the optional hot V8 for the JRA screamed in combustion. If the electric motor was Koenigsegg's love letter to electric precision, this engine was their middle finger to subtlety. It wasn't just any V8. It was borrowed directly from the Jeska, the mechanical...Watch what eggs do to your brain.
ผักเหี่ยว
Look at these two brain scans.
ซื้อไว้นาน
They both look young, strong,
อยู่ในตู้เย็น
but only one. The mechanical demon that already terrified racetracks. But here it was even angry. With twin turbos, flat plane crank geometry, and an exhaust note that could shake tectonic plates. The V8 turned the JRA into something deeply inappropriate for a school run.The engine was so aggressive, it barely qualified as a hybrid anymore. It paired with the dark matter motor to create a drivetrain that defied categories. Quiet and violent, efficient and monstrous, electric but absolutely, unapologetically mechanical. At a time when most automakers are busy staging the funeral of internal combustion engines, offering their final gas-powered sedans with more eulogies than upgrades, Koenigsegg didn't just break the trend. They threw it out the window, lit it on fire, and revved over the ashes in a four-seater with cup holders. The original Jeska was already a marvel. A free-valve, three-cylinder engineering flex that somehow managed to feel like both the future and a tribute to mechanical purism.But apparently, that wasn't wild enough. Some customers wanted more than efficiency, but many of them lacked something intangible. So, after the novelty wears off, the thrill often fades too. Koenigsegg's hybrid system reminds you that driving can still be emotional, engaging, physical, loud. It's not just about numbers on a screen. The problem is not the engine, it's how we use it. This standards.This level of control is rare in the automotive industry. It is precision. This attention to detail makes Koenigsegg vehicles not just performance machines, but examples of industrial craftsmanship. Producing a small number of cars each year is not just about exclusivity. It is part of Koenigsegg's long-term strategy for sustainability, innovation, and independence.By staying small, the company can avoid pressures that come with scale, such as cost cutting, supply delays, and brand dilution. This strategy also allows Koenigsegg to take calculated risks. For example, when they launch their
20:15ค่ะทุกคน แต่มันมืดแล้ว มันหนาว กินเผ็ดแค่นี้ก็เผ็ดแล้ว
Dental problems. Try adding this to a glass of water before bed. Thousands of people are healing receiving gums, decaying teeth, repairing damaged gums every night as they sleep.
หอมใหญ่
Imagine in America where you have to choose between filling up the gas tank or buying enough food for the week. Where every delivery truck is at risk because of fuel shortages and prices that fluctuate by the hour. As major pipelines close, as exports tighten, as oil wells shut down because they are no longer profitable, America is being squeezed. Because when the oil stops flowing, everything from food to transportation to electricity is taken down. And you will be surprised to see the names that seem invincible are the first to fall. Please watch the video and try to deal with the global world to learn more. 1. Texas. Texas is synonymous with black gold, with gushing oil wells, and billions of dollars flowing from the floating base structures. But now that is why. Global supplies collapse as international partners cut deals one by one, as the federal government tightens export quotas to protect the domestic
คุณตา
market. Texas is still the crushing.
ก่อเตาผิง
$1 million wells are abandoned. Refining lines are frozen. Tankers are
เสียง
stuck.
ดัง นั่งดูทีวี
Not just in numbers.
ผิงไฟ
More than 60,000 energy workers lost their jobs in the first quarter of the year alone. Oil-dependent cities like Midland, Odessa, and Corpus Christi have seen an exodus of workers not seen since the Great Depression. And more seriously, when Texas coughs, the entire U.S. energy industry begins to run hot. Because this place not only produces oil, but also operates the entire oil and gas ecosystem, from petrochemicals, transportation, storage, to global exports. When the heart of the oil industry is damaged, the entire American economic body will feel the pain. 2. North Dakota. Once the poster child for America's shale dream, North Dakota once produced more than 1 million barrels a day from the Bakken Shale alone. But that dream is collapsing one well at a time. As oil prices plummet and shale costs rise, hundreds of wells are closing permanently. Businesses are bankrupt. Equipment is
Yes.
treasure.
good
Now the only thing that's abundant here is uncertainty. The state's main source of income from oil and gas is rapidly depleting.
อืม
The Trans-Alaska Pipeline, which once pumped more than 2 million barrels a day, is now operating at less than a quarter of its capacity. With less oil flowing, it costs more to maintain
คุณตาชอบทุกคน
and shut down roads. What does that mean? Cut benefits, reduce pensions, defer infrastructure investment.
ลาบ
Everything
ลาบหมู
Alaskans have enjoyed from oil dividends to winter relief is now under threat. Fuel prices are skyrocketing. Many remote communities pay 5 times the national average for heating. And as the Arctic winter approaches, with its ice, blizzards, and perpetual darkness, every gallon of oil becomes a matter of survival. Alaska has no shortage of resources. But in the midst of the oil crisis, its harsh natural environment is becoming a second enemy.
เดี๋ยวขอให้คุณตาอีกอันหนึง
Oklahoma. Oklahoma was once the darling of the shale revolution in the United States. From a sleepy agricultural agricultural state, it rose to become the most vibrant hydraulic drilling
Honey, come and get some more here.
Tulsa and Oklahoma City grew like kites, as dozens of oil and gas companies poured in, bringing jobs, investment, and a golden period of growth.
Stand this side.
But then everything collapsed and
Okay.
oil
Okay.
prices plummeted,
Bend down more.
capital fled, in just 6 months, more than 12,000 oil and gas workers lost their jobs in Tulsa and Oklahoma City.
Good. Oh,
State marketplace. Office buildings
too spicy. ดู คุณตากินได้ทุกคน อร่อยไหม
Alright. That's really nice with the lettuce and that. That's,
Wyoming is not often mentioned.
oh yeah, I'm going to get some of that when I go to Thailand.
Yeah? Good.
Thank you.
When the oil and gas crisis hit, it suffered consequences in the quietest but most devastating way. Wyoming depends
ว้าว คุณตาชอบมากเลย
on the public budget. Nearly 60% of the state's revenue comes from the energy industry. And when oil prices plummeted, companies withdrew from the state, wealth abandoned. The entire local financial system began to collapse. Home prices plummeted.
ไม่ต้องห่วงไปเมืองไทยแกกินได้สบาย พวกลาบพวกก๋วยเตี๋ยว คุณตาชอบ
Towns that once depended on black gold became symbols of the plantation industry. Interstate trucks avoided routes across California because of high fuel costs. Agriculture collapsed. Central Valley farms could not afford the cost despite producing nearly a third of the country's fruits and vegetables. Logistics and deliveries from Amazon to supermarket chains were forced to cut routes, raise prices, and delay shipping. The situation became so dire that many suburbanites ditched their cars and switched to biking or quit their jobs. As commuting became a burden, urban life began to lose its balance. California faces a bitter paradox. It is a global center of innovation, but it is stifled by a fundamental problem: gas prices. A. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, the industrial heart of the Northeast, has long relied on cheap energy to keep its manufacturing machines humming. Steel, chemicals, cement, and industrial plastics all rely on natural gas and oil as their lifeblood. But as supplies collapsed, fuel prices soared, and preferential allocation policies tightened, the industry began to slide into paralysis. Scores of steel mills in Pittsburgh were forced to halt production. Thousands of engineers, workers, and contractors were furloughed indefinitely. Chemical plants along the Delaware River were reduced to less
กิน
than
ไม่หมดเยอะ
the Northeast's entire supply chain was hit hard, too. From the Philadelphia docks to the industrial railroads, every link was paralyzed by fuel shortages and rising operating costs. Pennsylvania was a symbol of America's
Can you come and help me to finish this,
but in the
please?
energy crisis,
Yes.
the symbol is more shaky than ever.
You want to finish this?
The entire eastern industrial belt could fall if the long freeze. 9. Colorado. Colorado was once the rising star of U.S. fracking. Thanks to modern hydraulic fracturing
Thank you.
technology, the arid lands east of Denver suddenly became an investment.
Sit here until it finish, nearly finish.
In less than a decade. Thousands of jobs, billions of dollars poured in, and Colorado firmly placed itself on the national energy map. But then things changed so quickly that no one could react.
Who made this?
Me.
Permits were delayed.
Oh, you did good,
New
honey.
environmental policies slowed the permitting and renewal process. Production plummeted. The cost of maintaining shale wells rose, while plunging oil prices forced small companies to go bankrupt and big companies to cut staff. By the end of the year, more than 8,000 fractions
คุณตาชอบทุกคน
jobs. Oil and gas towns like Greeley and Rifle are now seeing residents.
Tastes great with the onion. Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Colorado has no shortage of potential. But in the context of the shale oil industry being squeezed by both the market and policy, that potential is being strangled right in the bud.
Good, honey.
This is the latest range
Yeah.
developed by Gillette. Super sharp and portable razor. It features German diamond blade material and a flexible
That's
shaving
good.
perfectly formed
this good we eat without rice at for dinner
can cleanly shave even the toughest and thickest
ไม่กินข้าวเย็นทุกคน
leaving no stump.
อืม
The metal body is fully washable and it boasts an ultra-long battery life, lasting up to a month on a single charge. It's very compact, about the size of an egg, and can fit in your pocket, allowing you to shave anytime, whether at work or while traveling, keeping you clean and fresh at all times.
how
It sold over 100,000 units as soon as it hit the market, making it the
Okay,
best
open
gift
your
for
mouth.
husbands and fathers. The manufacturer is offering a special promotion. Place your order today to enjoy an incredibly low discount.
Oh.
Today is the last day, and prices will return to normal tomorrow.
I never thought you like it good I can make it some more อืม
10. New Mexico. New Mexico has no Wall Street, no Silicon Valley, no bustling cities of millions. But there is one thing that has kept the state afloat for years: oil and gas. Nearly half of New Mexico's budget is based on oil and gas taxes, especially from the Permian Basin, once known as the state's money machine. But now that machine has malfunctioned. Oil prices have plummeted, production has been cut, revenues have evaporated in just a few quarters. The result? Cuts to health care benefits, school closures, stop community welfare programs. People, especially in poor, indigenous areas, have been thrown into a double crisis. They have lost oil jobs and the essential supports they needed to survive.
เผ็ดแต่อร่อย
Cruises, Hobbs, Roswell, towns that once relied on oil are now deserted, destitute, and unstable. Many families have had to choose between buying medicine for their children or paying their electric bill.
คุณตาติดใจเลย
And when the black gold stops flowing, the dream of a balanced budget quickly turns into a nightmare.